What's up, movie buffs? Rose Show Movie Reviews. In today's movie review, I'm going to be giving you my opinion and breakdown of Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. So full disclosure, before you watch this video, if you haven't seen Friday the 13th Part 8, I highly suggest you stop this movie right now, go watch that one, come back to the video, and then let me know what your opinions are. And again, the reason is I just don't want to ruin anything for you. I don't want there to be any spoilers and for you not to totally enjoy the movie the way that you're supposed to. And that is by not knowing what's going on. So if you haven't seen that movie, stop this video, go watch that one, and then come back. Okay, I just finished my video on Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, and I said, in my opinion, that movie was the most underrated movie of the entire series. Now, getting into Part 8, I think this is the second most underrated movie of the series. And I'm going to get into giving you my reasons why, telling you things I liked, things I didn't like, and maybe clearing up some of those things that are issues that you, the viewer, may have with this movie and why you may have it towards the bottom of your series. Okay, so this movie, to me, again, I think that most people, the problem they have with it is the title. They think Jason Takes Manhattan, and, you know, most of the movie takes place on a boat, and they have an issue with that. There are a few things in this movie, I'm not going to lie, that I think are pretty cheesy, and I think that they could have done without or done better. But it is my understanding that some of the things they did and the way they did them was because they had constraints on the budget. I heard the budget was only like $5 million. So things that they wanted to shoot in New York, like on the Brooklyn Bridge or at Madison Square Garden or at the Statue of Liberty, which are rumored, had to be cut in order to make sure the movie came in under budget. So things I like about this movie, I like the beginning. I actually like all of the scenes on the boat. I think that the kills that Jason has, the places that he has them at, him kind of popping in and out of doors and showing up at different places on the boat, I think is extremely cool. I like some of the creative kills. And again, I'm a huge fan of Kane Hodder and the way that he plays and portrays Jason, right? It's not always a bunch of crazy movements. It could just be standing there. And he could be standing there and breathing and just and looking crazy and looking creepy and looking scary, and that can be just enough sometimes, right? Just your mind doing all the work, your mind playing all the tricks and all the games on you can sometimes be enough, and it doesn't have to be something over the top or crazy all the time. And so there are subtleties and little things that Kane Hodder does as Jason that I really like, and that's the reason I think he is the best Jason. You can tell when he plays the character that he really cares. Some of these guys, you know, took it as an opportunity. They did the best that they could with it. But Kane is one of those people who I really think loves the role and puts more passion and attention into the details of playing Jason than the other guys who have done it in the series. I really like, again, there's not really that many characters in this movie that I don't like. You know, Charles is obviously, you know, the teacher is obviously the antagonist in the movie. He's meant to be, you know, an insensitive prick. You're not supposed to like him. And he does a great job. He succeeds at that. Rennie is supposed to be the scared, you know, victim. She does a great job doing that. Sean is supposed to be the love interest who, you know, is trying to be there for Rennie, but also is trying to, at the same time, help out with this problem they have, and that is Jason. And my favorite character in this movie is Julius. I think he's awesome. I'm a big boxing fan, so that resonated with me when I saw it. I like the scene where, you know, Julius and some of the others, after a lot of people have been killed, show up in the, you know, the captain's quarters there of the ship. And, you know, Charles is like, you know, telling them that, you know, we need to do this and we need to do that. And Julius is like, we need to round up everybody. We need to hunt down this motherfucker before he hunts us down. And Charles is like, you need to listen to me. You need to stay put. You need to do whatever. And Julius is like, school is out. Like, he tells him, dude, we're not listening to you anymore. We're taking over the ship. We're doing what we want to do. I like that him taking that leadership role. My favorite scene in the entire movie is when Julius is up on the roof in New York, and he's boxing Jason, hitting him with, you know, punches to the face, to the mask, to the body, and then his hands are bloodied and he's worn out, and he just says, "Take your best shot," right? And Jason knocks off his head, it hits a bunch of stuff and rolls down into the dumpster. Best kill of the movie, best scene of the movie, and I think Kane Hodder has said in interviews that that's his favorite part of the movie as well. Another thing I like is Metropolis's Dark Side of the Night song to begin this movie. I think it's right up there with He's Back, Man Behind the Mask from Part 6. It's a very catchy tune. It gets stuck in your head. It's a kind of one of those 80s power rock ballads, and I think it really fits well, and I think it does a great job just kind of showing, like Alice Cooper did in Part 6, that Jason has become a household name. He's a commodity now. He's a crossover star. It isn't just, you know, small, low-budget horror films. He's a part of pop culture and a cultural icon. And so I think the music kind of fits along with that. So I was a big fan of that. Some of the things I didn't like, again, I understand that in this movie, Rennie is supposed to be scared of the water because she, you know, Charles pushed her in the water as a kid, and, you know, she was drowning and thinking Jason was pulling on her leg. Now, you know, how accurate is that? I don't know. It depends on when that time frame is supposed to be. If that was around the time of when Jason had drowned, then I guess it's possible. You know, she maybe could be just daydreaming that. I'm not sure. But some of the things that bother me with that is, like, when she's, like, you know, looking in the mirror and the little boy comes out and grabs her out of the mirror, or, you know, is like swimming in the porthole, or like just kind of randomly shows up as a hallucination in her room and is just like sitting there shivering, "Mommy," like dripping in slime. You know, not a huge fan of that. I thought that at times that really cheapened the movie and cheapened what they were trying to do. I thought it was unnecessary and they didn't really need to do that. Not a huge fan of the scenes that allegedly take place in New York, even though it was Vancouver. Like the alley scenes where Rennie gets taken by these two thugs and they take her to an alley and shoot her up with heroin. I just didn't understand what the whole purpose of that was. Because as soon as Jason shows up, she's definitely not, you know, high or anything like that, because she's running and talking. And so I just didn't understand the whole purpose sort of that. And I think the biggest problem that most people have with this movie is the ending, right? People think that, you know, Jason being washed in toxic waste and kind of like howling or whatever like a dinosaur, and then, you know, it's like this rubber carcass just floating in the water, and then when the toxic waste goes away, then he's just a little boy shivering on the ground. Most people didn't understand that or thought it was dumb. But if you watch the making of Part 8, the director says that, you know, I asked them if we could end this, right? If this could be the ending, can I kill Jason? Can this be the ending? And they said, sure, whatever, because if they want to resurrect him, they'll do it, right? So his thought process was kind of, you know, crossing over, right? If you know, somebody dies, they kind of go back to the time in their life, or you know, cross over purgatory, then they kind of do their thing, right? And his whole thought process was, well, instead of like just making Jason lying there dead on the ground like they've done in previous movies, like, let's make him revert back to the child, right? To the person he was when he drowned, you know, in Camp Crystal Lake in Sean Cunningham's movie. So that was his thought process behind it. And I guess if you think about it from that, if that was really supposed to be the last one, and that's what they decided to do, then they really just brought it full circle, right? So it really doesn't bother me. After I heard that explanation and I heard the thought process and what they were trying to do, it made sense to me. It may not have been executed as well as it could have been, I suppose, but they brought it full circle, and to me, it was at least acceptable. I understood it. I understood what they were trying to do, and therefore I don't really hold it against the movie like I used to. To me, this is just a fun movie. This is a movie that you don't have to think a lot. You don't have to pay attention a lot. You can just throw it on in the background and look up every once in a while. And it's just a fun movie. There's nothing overly, crazy about it or overly funny about it. It's just a fun movie. To me, it's one of the ones that I can throw in when I'm in the mood and just have fun watching it. I don't have to, do much other than just watch, what's on the screen. Again, I think it's completely overrated. And to me right now, as of February 2021, I have this number 3 on my list in the entire series of movies that are enjoyable for me to watch. That's how I rank these movies. Least enjoyable to enjoyable. It doesn't matter to me, what the script is, what the acting performances are, necessarily, Jason or what he looks like or how many kills he has or what the type of kills are or what the music is like. Sure, all of those things help. But to me, it's how enjoyable a movie is for me to watch. Because that's ultimately what it comes down to, right? There's been tons of movies that I've been like, man, that's an awesome acting performance, but I hated the movie. And there's been movies where I'm like, man, some pretty shitty acting, but overall, the way it was all put together, I actually enjoyed it, right? And this is one of those movies for me in the series that not anything is done extremely well, and there are some things that I think are cool, there's some things that I think aren't, but it's just overall an enjoyable movie for me to watch, and that's why I have it ranked the way that I have it on the list. So that's my opinion of Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you want. Thumbs down, that's fine as well. Leave a comment in the section below as to what your thoughts and opinion are of Friday the 13th Part 8. Subscribe to the channel if you want. Share the video. And until next time, movie buffs, I'm out of here.